Hey, welcome back guys. So today on this video we're going to be talking about the Rokit G4. Actually, more specifically, we're talking about the 8-inch powered Rokit 8. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So what we're going to talk about is, can you use these speakers for everyday listening? So just typical plug it in and play some music. So a little background on these. KRK, thanks a lot for sending these over for us to test them out. And I'm not a professional musician by any description of that word. However, I do like to listen to music, and I wasn't sure if I can use this for everyday household listening. Turns out you can. So these are pretty cool. Actually, these have a lot of different functions that you might need or want if you are a musician of some sort, which I'm not. If you look on the back of these monitors, they have a lot of different functions, a lot of different tuning functions that I have no idea what to do with them. In fact, I went ahead and downloaded the app, and I'll be doing a review on their new application shortly, so be sure to check on that. But in the meantime, what I use these for is just listening to music, and they're really nice. Actually, these particular speakers come with a powered, I guess you would call it a subwoofer. If it's called something else, be sure to leave me a comment below. I don't mean to sound like an amateur, but again, I just listen to these for music. So these bottom speakers right here give the sound really nice bass when I'm listening to music. So if you listen to maybe hip hop or dance music and you like those low frequencies, this speaker will really irritate your neighbors. Actually, I've already had a few neighbors come to my house and say, can you turn the music down because you can hear the ceiling rattling. So that's pretty cool. Again, you want to be aware of that if you live in an apartment like I do. And then up here on this top is, I guess you would call it the tweeter. That's what we used to call them when we were kids, but this is more like the singing high-pitched sound comes out of that little tiny speaker right there. So when you're playing these speakers just on regular music, I'm not doing any kind of mixing on these things. They come out great. The sound is very clear because of those little speakers right there, and the intensity of the music feeling it is really nice because of this powered subwoofer. And let me go ahead and flip this speaker around, or studio monitor. I'm not sure what you're supposed to call them, if speaker is allowed or not. If you happen to know, be sure to leave me a comment below, but I personally call them speakers, but I know that they are marked as studio monitors. But let me go ahead and flip it around and you can see the back of it. Okay, so I went ahead and flipped this one around, and just so you can see the back of it, so it has these particular cables. Be sure to check my other video, and then it goes into more detail on how to set up your KRK Rokit 8s with a laptop. But the reason I flipped it over is because you can see each one of these speakers has an individual power cord. So each one of these speakers has some sort of power source or amplifier or something like that inside the speaker. So it has enough power to push the speaker and have a nice, clear, great sound. Let me go ahead and dust that off. It looks a little dirty there. There we go. And each one of these speakers has a designated on and off switch. So if you're worried about these speakers being able to push out enough sound, I wouldn't worry about that. These are probably the nicest speakers that I've ever owned, and I've only put my computer up probably about 60%, and it was really loud. My house was shaking. If you put these things up to 100%, I don't think there's going to be any problem filling up the sound in a warehouse or some sort of a store, or I don't know what else you'd want to do, maybe use them at a party. Not going to be any problem with these KRKs. Great speakers, good crystal clear sound. So to answer the question, can you use these for just regular everyday listening music? I'm an average person and I would say yes. However, the price point on these is pretty high if you're just going to be using them to listen to sound. I believe they're around $300 a piece. Be sure to check the description below. I'll try to leave a link to the most recent price. But if that's within your budget, I would highly recommend them because they are fairly small, as you can see in comparison to the laptop that's sitting on top. That's a MacBook Pro 15-inch, and it's not much bigger than my computer. So considering the size and space and square volume that these things take up, pretty good. And let me go ahead and turn them on and see if you can listen to a little bit of music. So we're going to listen to a little bit of Beethoven right here. So as you can see, we're playing Beethoven, so there's not a lot of bass in his music, but these little tweeters are really hitting those highs, coming out nice and crystal clear. So there you have it. That answers the question from my perspective. Can you use KRK Rokit's G4 for everyday average music listening? I would say yes, you can. If there's any drawbacks to listen to these with regular music, be sure to leave me a comment below. I'm not too sure if there is any drawbacks. Maybe you do. But hopefully you found this information useful. If so, click thumbs up, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks again for watching.